go to this interview, Street Magazine, Street Motivation Magazine. Shout out to Sharon for waiting for me. I had to get the car fixed. But I'm about to head over there now. Right here was Street Motivation Magazine, about to do an interview. You know, West Coast style. You already know Ferrari already. Nothing changed. Beautiful weather. It's like calculating. I'm from New York, but come on here and do this. They got a house out here.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Miss Tasty with Street Motivation Magazine, and I am here with your boy, Rapha-El with Daligheto in the Money Lesson. So we see a lot of the YouTube videos out there where you are helping these people make all this money. What are some of the steps? What is the first step that someone needs to take to try to get out even for themselves?
For themselves, even if they're not dealing with internet marketing. Like myself, you got to have the right mindset. You know what I mean? Because you got to understand that we were put in a situation way back in the day for a reason. You know, we all was kings and queens back in the day. We did mathematics, we all did a minute, next minute I'm overseas and everything else. So I try to keep everything online because it's the easiest way for me to communicate and actually deal with people in all different regions. I train people in Africa, New Zealand, you know, all over the world. If you don't know about me, you can look around online. I've been around for about 3.5 years talking about making money online and training different individuals. And the year before that, actually getting involved with internet marketing. Now, a lot of people see tons of different things online and they get confused what internet marketing may be. They might think that internet marketing is going to meetings and handing out flyers and, you know, getting involved with a pyramid and all types of stuff. And I've been trying to tell people for years, it's not 99% of what you see. You know, a lot of that is just fat, just like anything else. But my story, you know, I'm from the New York City area. I grew up poor. Well, I say average poor because, you know, you didn't have everything. We just had enough. And, you know, I've seen a lot of different things growing up, illegal activities growing up. You know, I wasn't a saint. I never had the silver spoon. When I got out of high school, I went to the military because I didn't really want to stay around the area and get involved in trouble and stuff like that. I always thought different from my peers. You know, my peers that was running around, and I felt like, you know, we'd get locked up if we do certain things. So I left, got into the military. I never liked the military. I felt like it wasn't for me, but I signed a contract, so I did what I had to do. When I came home, I saved a lot of money up from being in the military. And at this time, I was married. I had a son. And I decided to get into the music industry, which I was doing stuff overseas anyway in the music industry, but just overseas style. And I came home on this big dream and everything else. I got involved, and I put up a lot of money. Had my first show with Def Jam, Murder Inc. and all this stuff. And we had September 11th. I ended up losing all my money, ended up going bankrupt, and just lost, you know. And I moved down to Orlando, Florida, try to pick back up the pace and get away from the New York City area. And ended up having 53 jobs in 13 months. I was scrambling, running around, doing a lot of different stuff. I tell people all the time, I had every type of job you can have. You know, from your refrigerator repairer to your in-home salesperson. I was doing it all. So after going through all that in Orlando, I decided to come back. Because I had a house that I had bought when I was in the military, and I was renting it out to a lady who passed away, and then I decided to sell it. Thought I was going to get 12 grand. I forgot that I had liens on the house, so I ended up getting 3 grand. But I still decided to start a magazine. I had Mike Magazine. I did that for about 2 years hard, and I had progress, but it really wasn't no money. And I was doing other things to actually keep the magazine afloat. You know, all the way up from Milwaukee to, you know, down south of Florida, and doing things, you know, you hustle and running around. And ended up starting shooting videos. I did 25 videos worldwide, all the way from Cincinnati to Hawaii to Germany, you name it. I was running around, and then also doing promotions and stuff. You know, when I got to Hawaii, I decided to call it quits because I was kind of like seeing that the music industry is more of a smoke and mirror situation. Like I'm a real person, so every time I got involved with a lot of things in the music industry, I was just like, man, this is not the way. You know, this is kind of the people that's involved with this is not what I like. And the money was a cap on it, especially with the industry going down. I always looked at trends and looked at what's going on. I never was the type of person that lived in the now. I always looked at the future. So I got out of the music industry, jumped online. My first, 6 months, I did great. know, I did real great. I made a lot of money, and then I got involved with getting off of what I usually do in internet marketing. Started trying different things, and I'm getting scammed for 30 grand, which is well documented. I had videos about this back in the day. You know, get a credit partner to co-sign for a $10 million loan, and at that time I was thinking I was going to shoot a movie and do some stuff, and it ended up being a big scam. Lost money, and then I spent a lot of money moving into a nice East Side River spot in Manhattan, and then I was helping my family out. And it was strange, I made a lot of money. But I ended up being back to being broke again because I didn't have a foundation to understand how to spend money and things of that nature. And then I got back in the internet market, made a lot of money, and then I just thought about it like, you know, a lot of people is just like me. They don't understand how to make money online, and they don't understand how to keep money. They see different things. It's like smoke and mirrors, like I said earlier. Flashy lights. You see things and you want to attain it, but it's really the wrong avenue in the first place. So, you know, back in 2009, early February, I got on World Star. I started talking about making money online, and a lot of people was interested. Started training people on something smaller, just get people's minds right. Grew. Then I seen a lot of people jump on World Star and start copying me and trying to imitate, and I left it alone. Then started developing different things on my own, like different businesses. And through all that time, I was traveling. Like, I got videos up. You see, you know, I'm in UK. I'm in, you name it. I'm all over. You know, saying Hawaii. Hawaii is my best spot, and I'm getting a spot out there, going back and forth. I'm getting a spot in California, a spot in Florida, a spot in New York, of course, and just traveling, living, and doing things I like to do. And then I developed the money lesson, which made a lot of money for individuals out there. We did a lot of numbers, which was teaching people how to start their own online marketing company. And then I kind of fell back. I say stuff here and there, but it's usually people that's successful with my training that put videos out. And I usually try to talk to people because I've been giving out my cell phone for the past 3 years, the same number, for anybody that want to ask me questions or text me or whatever. And I just try to find out where people at. And I'm noticing that, okay, one is a money factor. Two, it's what they don't understand that can be possible. You've been programmed to feel that if somebody offers you something online, it's fake, you know, or there's only this way of making money online, or these type of people are only making money. For example, people from the inner city, and what I observe, we usually tend to think that the only people that are really making money are people that are doing stuff in the music industry. And it's really a lottery. You know, if you think about it, it's a small circle of people that are actually succeeding in the music industry. You maybe have 3 to 10 new artists make it and be successful a year, if that, out of over 40 million people. You know, so the odds are just crazy. But people still tend to think that they're going to be the next ones to make it, because you have dreams, which is fine, but you know, a lot of times we fail because we don't deal with reality. Alright, another thing is we think the streets is the best way. You know, and me being a person that ran the streets, did all types of stuff, but a lot of that we feel is, you know, legit. But you can get so much time taken away from your life for something so little. And most people in jail will tell you they wish they had a McDonald's job, you know, paying, and they can go home to their loved ones and, you know, live their life. It's not what you think it is. So that's another thing that we fall for. And another thing I want to say, and it might be controversial when I say this, is college. I don't have nothing against college, but I feel like a lot of people go to college for the wrong reasons. You know, the reason why I went to the military, because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to take the same route that everybody was doing, just go to college and then maybe something will happen. You know, college system is good for the experience, but it's teaching you how to work a job. In your mind, you're an entrepreneur. You know, that's why you want to be something where you own something. You know, you get a degree, and pretty much nobody's getting a job anymore. The jobs are going overseas and going all different places. So those 3 things, to me, is what's holding a lot of people behind. Nowadays, in 2012, you know, they're not succeeding. And once again, because a lot of people might look at this and say, oh, you're talking about college, but if you think about it, I know so many people who got degrees that can't get a job. People who are struggling in college can't pay for tuition and things of that nature, or can't pay to just live on their own, because it's not a system where it's actually trying to help you benefit as much as you think it is. So what do you have left in 2012? You have the internet. Now, I preach to people that the internet to me is the key to your success, because you can deal with millions upon millions of people worldwide on different levels, and there's different ways to get involved with the internet and make money. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You know, a lot of times it takes these factors: is focus, determination, and patience. And then another main factor is somebody that's teaching you, somebody that's willing to teach you, somebody that's been through it. They always say to people, you should get a mentor. If you get a mentor, you'll go ahead and succeed. And look, I never look back, and I made tons of money. I'm actually happy. You know, I'm independent. I don't do anything else. Now, after 4.5 years of being online, traveling, helping a lot of people succeed, like Chad Arrington, who went from being unemployed to getting a job offer for $69,000 a year. Somebody like Shamika, who had no idea of how to make money online, and I showed her several things, and she went and had somebody offer her several $1,000s to work with her in the first 4 days. And someone like Cedric, who, you know, got a big deal in his 3rd month after being involved with me and learning, and got a deal for $10,000. And somebody like Darvell, who's actually in the Air Force, was overseas and came back to Oklahoma and did $4,000 in 1 day. You know, these people are involved with something that is bigger. And with bigger, I mean they dealing with me. Look, I don't know your situation. I don't know what you're going through. But just email me. Email me at raphaeldaligheto.com and let me know where you stand at. Because everybody has different levels of learning how to get involved with something. You know, you might be successful already. You might have no success. You might be fed up. And we could just communicate. Because like I said, I've been giving out my number for the past 3.5 years. You can't find nothing online about me being negative as far as anything in a scammy nature, which I feel that, you know, you shouldn't do anyway, especially to your peers. And I'd rather help. So I have different things I could train you on, but it's better for me to know where you stand at. So email me at raphaeldaligheto.com, and I'll go ahead and we'll communicate. We'll figure some things out, and I'll let you know where I stand at. Alright?